Joe. Welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
Mandio.
And we are KAMMA, about to talk about UFC Fight Night Tampa. This is our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs. The main event, of course, is going to be Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley, but we're going to talk about the final predictions and face-offs and thoughts for the prelims. So to start it off right away with the first fight of the prelims, we got Josephine Knutsson versus Piera Rodriguez. So after seeing the face-off, Sandio, how you feel here?
Yeah, I still feel my pick's going to be Josephine Knutsson here. Really based on the fact that she's better technically, and I think she's going to be able to move around better. And Piera Rodriguez here, she's going to have to rely on her power because she's a little more wild, and I think Knutsson's going to be able to stay away from that and come out with decision victory. But she has to be careful with that power. Well, what about you, Real Deal?
Yeah, man, I'm still with Josephine Knutsson, man. In the face-offs here, both of these girls are about the same size. It looks like Piera Rodriguez is slightly a tiny bit taller, but Josephine looks like she's also kind of crouching there. So I'm not really sure, but they're supposed to
And
be.
Piera was wearing shoes, and Knutson wasn't. So I
Yeah, so
think
maybe that's what's showing the little height there difference. But they're supposed to be the same height at 5'3". I do like that Josephine Knutsson looks very serious, man. Like she came up to the podium, she looks very serious. She looks very concentrated. She looks like she's ready to fight. And we see Piera here smiling and not taking the fight serious, man. I think she's overconfident. I think she looks like she's overconfident. She's smiling at her, like not taking her seriously. And I think she thinks she's better than her. But Josephine Knutsson looks way more serious, way more like angry and like ready to go. So I like that. I like Josephine Knutsson taking the fight seriously here, man. And again, Piera Rodriguez coming off of two losses in a row there doesn't look good. I mean, the loss, I know she got disqualified against Ariana Carnelosi, but still, like it's still a loss. And also the loss to Jillian Robertson there with the submission. So, I don't really trust her to be that great. And so I got to stick with Knutsson here. And I got Josephine Knutsson winning by KO or decision. All right, so we're both still in agreement with this fight. Let's move on up to the next one here. We got Davy Grant versus Ramon Taveras. And man, these guys are both in really, really good shape, man. Both these guys are ripped. They're both pretty built, pretty muscular. Ramon Taveras, I'll say, maybe is a little bit thicker, and Davy Grant a little bit more ripped. The height looks like they're pretty much about the same height. But Davy Grant, man, this guy looks really, really tough, man. He looks really, really strong. I'm going to go for Davy Grant still here in this one to win. I got him winning by KO or submission. I think he finishes. I think he's going to finish Taveras in this one, man. And I forgot to mention that he has some submissions. Davy Grant, the guy he has 4 knockouts, but he does have 7 submissions. So he can still do damage on the ground. He's got jiu-jitsu. So if he can get on top of Taveras and get him down there, I think he could do some damage and maybe even get a submission. So I got Davy Grant winning by KO or submission in this one, man. How about you?
I'm taking Davy Grant based on the fact that I think his shots are more like unorthodox, and he has more power in the unorthodox shots he throws. He does have his skills down there, and he should really try to take Taveras down more, but he doesn't average many takedowns a fight, so unless he gets him down early on with his only takedown attempt of the whole fight, I don't think it's going to be a ground battle. I think these guys are going to keep it on the feet, and Taveras, I think he's going to win if he catches Grant doing something like a little uncalled for, leaving himself really open up. But I still feel that's going to give Davy Grant the win, along with the fact that I think he's more varied, and I like his kicks. Davy Grant has pretty good kicks, and I think they're going to add up on Taveras as the fight goes on. And yeah, I still think it's going to be a decision win, though, for Grant, because I just feel this fight's going to go to decision.
Okay, all right, man. So we're still in agreement with the win for Davy Grant here. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. Miranda Maverick against Jamie Lynn Hoare.
I gotta stick with Miranda Maverick here. Look, the path to victory for Jamie Lynn Ho is pretty much to use her reach and her size to kind of stifle Miranda Maverick. And I still don't think that's going to happen. I think Maverick's stronger. She's very good on the ground. I think she's going to end up taking down Jamie Lynn Ho and subbing her. Maybe, look, it's very hard to tell, but maybe late round sub, late fight sub in the third round, or a decision for Maverick.
Yeah, man, I'm still on board with Miranda Maverick, man. She is looking really good, great physical shape, pretty muscular still. Of course, we got Jamie Lynn Horth, who's taller. We keep calling her Jamie Lynn Ho here. I'm really sorry about that, but we keep
I
making.
didn't notice.
But even me, I made the mistake a few times there. Yeah, Jamie Lynn Horth, not Hor or Ho, but Horth. Okay, so let's get it right here. Jamie Lynn
Hard to say.
Horth is not going to win against Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick, she's way too skilled, and just a veteran. She's been fighting the better fighters, man. She's been fighting longer, and she's got the submission skills. She's got the grappling, the wrestling skills. And,
Wait,
her takedowns are just like really, really good, man. So
wait a minute here. I don't have the exact start date of her career, but there's one thing I want to mention about Jamie Lynn Ho here is that I don't
fourth, fourth.
I, I don't think she's been fighting. I think she's been fighting longer. She is older, don't forget. But one thing I heard about her is that she had a very hard time finding girls that wanted to fight her coming up. Like everyone was refusing her, and where she came from, the talent level wasn't very deep, right? So she had to settle for girls like once in a while that were actually willing to fight her. But on the flip side of that, I realize she's on Squamish, BC, which isn't really a fighting hotbed. But after a while, if you're committed to the fight game, it's up to you to go and get these better fights, like somewhere else. So that being said, I think Maverick is better, and she's not going to beat her.
Yeah, man, she's been fighting in the UFC, way longer. She's been fighting the better opponents. She's a vet. She's very savvy, and she's still very young at 27 years old. 7 years younger than Jamie Lynn Horth. And again, man, I like her skills on the ground way better. And she's also just as tough as Jamie Lynn Horth. And Jamie Lynn Horth is pretty tough. She's still pretty muscular, pretty big. But Maverick she could deal with her. You know what I mean? She's just as strong. And so, yeah, I like Maverick in this one to get takedowns, to get some ground control, do some damage with the striking too. So, yeah, we're both still in agreement with Miranda Maverick. I got her winning by submission or decision. I think that a sub could happen. She just got better jiu-jitsu and can maybe, catch Jamie Lynn in something. So we're going with Miranda Maverick by sub or decision. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Miles Johns versus Fernando Lima. And
Felipe Lima. Felipe.
Felipe Lima. Who do you got in this one?
I got to go with Felipe Lima, man. This guy's on a 12-fight winning streak. He's like very well varied. That's what I like in fighters. Miles Johns, I still think he's a simple fighter. I think he abandoned a bit of his takedown game and is relying on his boxing a little more. One thing about him, he does rip real good body shots, which I keep an eye out for because I think they're very important. So Lima has to keep away from that. But Johns' gas tank has been getting better, but that's also, if you notice, because he takes little pauses, between a gather himself and stuff like that. So if Lima can avoid those big, powerful, strong spurts and combos from Miles Johns and keep up the pressure while he's doing that, I think Felipe Lima has a very good chance to win here. And plus, he could put you away in many different ways.
Yeah, man, I like Felipe Lima here. I don't understand why they had Topology had Miles Johns being taller than Felipe Lima. Absolutely not the case. You can see here that Felipe Lima is way taller. They had him at 5 foot. Miles Johns at 5'7" and Felipe Lima at 5'6". Absolutely incorrect. You can see that Felipe Lima is much taller then Miles Johns. And he's even like kind of leaning a little bit there. So you can see if he stands straight, he's much taller. So I like that. Both of these guys are in great, phenomenal shape, man. Ripped and muscular and pretty built. Felipe Lima looks very solid, very lean, very ripped, and muscular as well. But Miles Johns too in great shape.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's like a fire hydrant guy, this Miles Johns.
yeah, but yeah, Felipe Lima is still the pick, man. Just like him overall, having better skills than Miles Johns. I got him winning by finish, a KO or submission in this one. So yeah, just like him better than Miles Johns. I think he's going to do more damage. So we're still in agreement with this one here. Let's move on up to the next fight. All right, we got Sean Woodson versus, this is the one, Fernando Padilla here.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to stick with Sean Woodson. You can see that he's a little bit taller than Padilla. Both these guys are lean, very, very skinny guys and lean guys. They're in great shape though, man. Ripped. I like Sean Woodson though. He's got better. I think he's better on the feet personally. I think he's just a little bit better of a striker, a little bit better of a boxer, and the kicks, man. The kicks are what's gonna slow down Padilla, man. I think he's gonna kick the shit out of his legs. Good body kicks, high leg kicks as well. I think the kicks are going to be a very important factor for Sean Woodson here, and striking at range, keeping a distance. So I like Sean Woodson here to win by KO or decision.
Yeah, Sean Woodson's going to win this one to me based on that good, excellent range management that he has. He's not going to put him away with power. And also, he has some sneaky knees. Don't forget Sean Woodson. In
Yeah.
fact, the only finish he's had in the UFC was by a flying knee. I don't know if he's going to get a flying knee like that on Padilla because he's so tall. But yeah, give me Sean Woodson here to really implement his game plan, hit him with some nice combos, and just keep away from Padilla's power. But I gotta say, I love Padilla's hat that he wears, so he gets a couple points for that from me.
The fisherman hat there, yeah.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, give me Woodson by decision.
All right, we're in agreement. So we're in agreement with all the fights, right, so far? Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, we're in agreement with all the fights so far in the prelims. Let's get to this next one here, which is going to be
We got Jakar Close against Joel Alvarez in the other order on the screen. And yeah, I'm sticking with Joel Alvarez here. I think Close is good to pretty damn good everywhere, but Alvarez is just really dangerous everywhere. And I think that danger is going to ultimately lead into Alvarez snatching a sub of some kind late in the first round. I think Close is going to try and stay away from him, try to get Alvarez to make a mistake, but I don't really think it's going to work out for Close. So yeah, give me Alvarez by sub. But I definitely see a finish in this fight.
Yeah, I don't see this fight going the distance, man. I think these guys, this is going to be a banger of a fight, man. Both of these guys in phenomenal shape. Alvarez ripped, a little bit more ripped than Drakkar Klose. Drakkar Klose is a little bit thicker, though, a little bit more muscular. But Alvarez is leaner and more ripped, and he's also muscular as well. I think that his longer limbs are going to help him to grab Drakkar Klose, get him in the clinch. Also, maybe even get takedowns a little easier with those long limbs of his. And he's very good at tripping his opponent. So I like Alvarez also getting a finish here with KO submission. All of his wins have been by finish. All of his wins have been by finish. So I really do think that he goes out there and he tries to kill you or be killed. So I think he's going to go out there and kill Drakkar Klose. I like Drakkar Klose, though, as a dog. I think he has a slight chance. This is a very, very lopsided line. So I think Drakkar Klose there, a little sprinkle wouldn't hurt. This guy is very dangerous, too. He's got some skills. But it's going to be a banger of a fight, man. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with Jose Alvarez to get the finish here.
I became more of a believer in Alvarez after the Brenner fight, where he went well into the third round against a dog like that. So it shows that he has endurance also and can manage the cardio.
All right, man. So we're in agreement with Jose Alvarez here. Let's move on up to the main event of the prelims here. Michael Johnson versus Otman Azaitar. All right,
Yeah.
so for this one, man, Man, I like Ottman Azaitar's chances of getting a knockout. I gotta say.
Was that the Michael Johnson sigh I just heard before you got going there? The Michael Johnson sigh. Yeah.
And I want to believe that Michael Johnson can get the win here, but like you had said earlier in the early prelims, that he finds ways to lose, man. Even he could be winning the fight, and then he makes some mistakes or something, gets clipped. His chin is very questionable. I'm very, very on the fence with this one, man. I had chosen Michael Johnson in the early prelims here, but I think I'm going to switch my pick to Ottman Azaitar here, man. I think I'm going to switch my pick. That's it. I switched my pick. I switched my pick. I'm going for Ottman
Yes.
Azaitar to get the knockout. Now, it's might not be a popular pick, that's for sure. But Ottman Azaitar has power. He has very, very big, huge knockout power. Not to mention he's 13-2 only. He only has 2 losses, whereas Michael Johnson, I mean, he's got almost as many losses as he has wins. He's got 22 wins and 19 losses. You know what I mean? So it's hard to trust Michael Johnson, man. Now I know that Ottman Azaitar just came off of a 2-fight losing skid here, but I think he's fighting for his job. He also got knocked out a couple of times, but by some really tough guys like Francisco Prado and also by Matt Frivola. These are really tough guys. I don't know if Johnson is going to be able to knock him out, especially at his age now. But I thought Johnson was going to be actually a lot more bigger than Azaitar, and it doesn't seem like he is, man. These guys are like pretty much the same size. Azaitar is a little bit thicker, actually, too. And Johnson's not that much taller there. They're saying he's 2 inches taller, but it's really, really close. So yeah, I'm going to switch my pick and go with Ottman Azaitar to have more power and to land a KO punch on Johnson. So I'll take Ottman Azaitar by knockout. Switch the pick here, man.
Yeah, so here Ottoman showing Michael Johnson with the finger just how it's going to go. And look, I won't be surprised if Michael Johnson dominates the fight for as long as it takes with his speed and with his crisp boxing before Azaitar catches him with something real hard and puts his lights out. The losses come from somewhere, man. I can't have faith in Michael Johnson at this point. The only thing I'm worried about is Michael Johnson is actually the type of guy that may get subbed by Azaitar somehow. Like, Azaitar has no takedowns, doesn't look for subs, but maybe Michael Johnson is going to find a way to give him his neck or something, unbelievably. I don't know. But look, but talent-wise, Michael Johnson should win this fight, but I think Ottoman's going to catch him because he has more power. And yeah, that's it, man. I don't have any faith in Michael Johnson here, so give me Azaitar by knockout, probably in the first round.
Going for, I can't believe I'm switching my pick here. I mean, he has been subbed a lot, Michael Johnson, man. He's lost 9 times by submission. So I have Azaitar by knockout there, but yeah, you're right. It's possible that maybe a submission could happen there. You never know, you know. But yeah, I think I'm going to switch the pick, stick with Ottman Azaitar. So that means that we are in agreement with all of the fights in the prelims. Like and subscribe, folks. There you have it. Our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the prelims. Stay tuned for our final thoughts and face-offs for the main card coming up next.
In the day, baby.
Peace out, folks.